Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
Yo, what's going on, Miami Hurricanes fans and my college football family? It's funny because I just noticed that in that little intro that during the Cal game, that little clip is from the projector cam. So it's, up and it's looking down and I'm watching the game on the wall. And that was at the end. So that was me waving bye to the Cal players. And we all remember the big comeback in that game. And I just noticed that my heart rate was hovering around 137. So that might be one of the all-time highs on one of the live streams. I would say the only one that would possibly match that might be maybe the Georgia Tech loss. The whole knee debacle. I think that my heart rate was probably pretty elevated for that one. Not the one this year because, well, that one was just terrible all around. But anyways, happy Friday. We made it. We made it. I know a lot of you are off. You get to kick back and relax on the weekend, which is great. Get to have a good time. And we're here tonight to talk some spring football. We're going to recap week number 1 for the Miami Hurricanes, talk about some of the big standouts this week. And I just want to give some honest thoughts on spring week 1. Now, obviously, it's week 1, so it's not like there's any tackling to the ground or anything like that. But it's still very fun to talk about because, well, let's be honest, it's football. It's Miami Hurricanes football. So I'm pumped and excited to discuss it. Let's give a shout out to everybody who's here bright and early. My man Randy was first tonight. Randy, good to have you here tonight. My man Chad, thank you, Chad, for being here. Adrian Estrada, Dion, I still ain't forgot about you. I know it seems like I say that every time, but I ain't forgot about you, Dion. Kevin, we're going to talk about it. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. Nick says, surprise, no realignment talk. Miami got a big W. So I think with this realignment stuff, with everything, with the ACC and all that's going on, I would maybe like to discuss it at some point. Obviously, that is huge news. There's a lot of stuff with that's a very big deal for not just Florida State, but other schools as well, Miami, Clemson, and some others. But I tend to like to focus on the players and everything that's going on, even though this definitely affects Miami. I guess what I'm getting at is I need to still do more research on it, to be completely honest, Nick, because the last time I did a realignment stream, there was so much conflicting information being thrown out there back and forth, and it would just, I don't know. So I want to deep dive it a little bit more before I actually go live and talk about it. I have been keeping up with it, because obviously, again, this is something that affects Miami. So I've been tracking it and keeping up with it. I just don't know if I want to do a live stream on it or not, at least not yet. But it is something that we could talk about in the future for sure. And I know pretty much everybody except me is probably talking about it, which is how it goes a lot of times for me anyways. So it is something that is a big deal, and we'll see if maybe we can talk about it at some point. Maybe not tonight, but maybe we can get into it at some point. Salty Rayan in the building. Good to see you. Stick Raw. Appreciate you. Patty. Happy Friday, Patty. Alex Snow in here bright and early. Good to see you, Alex. And again, Nick, Cornelius. What's up? It was a huge sports news week. It was, definitely. Yeah, maybe we could speak about it. I could bounce some stuff back and forth off of you to make sure I am on the same page with this. Because I know a lot of Florida State fans, man, it's back and forth on the timeline. Like Florida State fans are calling it a big win, not just for them, but for Miami and Clemson as well. And then there's Miami fans that are clowning Florida State, saying, you said you were going to be out of the ACC. And then Florida State fans say, it's back and forth. It's back and forth. And rival fan bases, you're going to do that. You know, it's going to be some headbutting. So it's very interesting for sure. But we're going to dive straight into it tonight. We are not going to waste any time. I do have something that I want to speak on that doesn't involve spring practice, however, and that's some news that came out a few hours ago. Some of you have already been typing about it, but I just want to show you a tweet. I want to show you a tweet here. Does anybody know? Of course you do, because some people have already put it, but does anybody know why Will Harris would have tweeted this tonight? March 7th at 7:52 p.m.? Any thoughts as to why? Why Will Harris would tweet this and why Florida Gator fans are so pissed off under this tweet? Let's scroll down a little bit. Where are the Florida fans? Hold on. They're here. Give me a second. Have fun holding this L week 1. You'll get what you got coming. That's a Florida State fan. I don't know why he's chiming in here. Sunglasses, LOL. Lame ass. Yeah, let me unfollow. Go Gators. Unfollow. Clown. Such a corny bitch. Change your profile pic, bitch. Like, man, them Gator fans are riled up. Man, F you. LOL, effing dork. So here's the deal. We know that Will Harris came over from the Florida Gators. They had this whole spin of he was going to leave Miami before spring practice started. He was going to be going to the NFL, possibly coaching with the Saints. That didn't happen. So then they tried to spin it as a lot of different things. They're very salty. They're very upset over the Will Harris thing. They just can't seem to let it go. Well, Miami just got a 4-star cornerback a few hours ago. Jalen Seatbelt Waters, 6'2", 180, out of the state of Florida. And this is a guy that I guess technically picked Miami over Auburn and Florida. I know he's kind of been around with different schools. You know, he had verbally committed at one point to Florida. But then Will Harris comes to Miami. Jalen Waters now commits to Miami, and Florida fans are very upset about it. And let me tell you, it puts a big smile on my face. After all of the trolling and all the talk and stuff from a fan base that lost 41-17 last year, they are so confident going into this season that it blows my mind. And don't worry, we're going to talk about DJ Lagway as well, because they've been poking fun at Carson Beck and him not participating in practice. Well, participating but not throwing. And something kind of funny came up. Is he at Miami yet? Are you talking about Will Harris? Is that the question? So that does bump up Miami's 2026 recruiting class. They were number 26 in the 26 recruiting class. That does now officially bump them up to number 19. And that is overall. And then I believe in the ACC, they're 4, maybe? 4, yes. So that does put Miami at number 4 in the ACC with the 2026 recruiting class, picking up the 4-star cornerback Jalen Seatbelt Waters. And just make sure that you tag your Florida fans that follow you guys on social media, that interact with you. Make sure that you tag them, and we want to ensure that they've heard this news. We want to make sure that they are aware of it. Obviously they would do the same, so let's do them a little favor and let them know. Yeah. Yes, so Will Harris is out there coaching at spring practice for the Miami Hurricanes. He sure is. So that was some pretty big news, obviously. Everybody is talking about that. And, Will Harris is going to play a part in that. So Harris and Etheridge, I guess, basically kind of already making some noise on the recruiting trail. And this would have been an easy get for him because I believe that Waters had wanted to play for Harris and kind of follows him over to Miami. So I absolutely love it. Now, in some other news as well, before we get into the big spring talk here, Miami did bring on someone else. They added former long snapper Clay James to the staff. He's going to be coaching up special teams. He spent the last 2 seasons as an offensive quality control analyst at Georgia. So if you remember, Clay James was the long snapper from, I think, 2018 to 2022, I believe. COVID year again kind of messes everything up there. But they did bring him on to help coach the special teams, so that was pretty cool to see. Bring on a former player who has not been out of the game very long, not able to make it in the NFL and make a career out of this thing when it comes to being on the field, playing, suiting up, but he's able to kind of help come in here and help coach up the special teams. And I'll be honest, when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes, I'm going to be just super blunt here. We need all the help we can get when it comes to special teams because it just seems to be a sore spot, minus kicking. Am I right? The Borregales brothers helped take care of that. And then you had Headley come in. And honestly, Dylan Joyce is not bad either. So outside of that, though, as far as when it comes to like kick returns, punt returns, coverage on special teams, it's been pretty lackluster, piss poor, if I'm being super honest here. So bring in some more faces, and hopefully these guys can help correct some of the issues. Just haven't seen anything official. Yeah, that's fair. I have not seen anything officially official from the University of Miami with the Will Harris stuff. I don't believe they ever posted a graphic or anything up. But it looks like pen has been put to paper. Maybe they're just behind or something. I don't know. But he is at Miami. He is coaching during spring. He is actively recruiting. So we got him. So what I wanted to touch on here while we're making fun of the Florida Gator fans, and listen, man, it's all fair game. So you can throw shots back. It's just how we do things here. And them Florida fans have been in my mentions for weeks, months, as a matter of fact. They've not stopped yapping since they took that loss in the swamp. And it blows my mind. Like I said, they've been talking a lot, and it's really pretty shocking.
Co-op refusing to give up the Oklahoma State look. It's starting to grow on me.
Dang, I wish I had a comeback, but this is 2 weeks in a row that he's got the best of me. Joel Davis. Now, yeah, buddy. You see this Ibis? I know you're scared, Joel. It's coming for you at Doak Campbell Stadium this season. Assuming that stadium is ready to go and we don't have to shift it to Hard Rock and make it a home game for us, or maybe we play at the nearest high school stadium. I don't know. They played in the parking lot. It doesn't matter where it is either way because I know who's getting the win. That's right. But you are right. I have been rocking a lot of orange lately, haven't I? Like with not as much green mixed in. And it's funny because I even told my wife when I went live, Joel, I said, I got to make sure that I have on orange and green because people are going to find a way to bring it up. Yep. Thank you, Joel. I'll sit you atop your throne. How are you, my man? Happy Friday. I would say, you're pumped for the weekend, but you work 24/7, 365. So I think Friday for you is probably no different than a Monday for most other people. That's just my guess anyways. We're actually taking some time to poke fun at Florida Gator fans. If you would like to join in on the poking, Joel, because that's one thing that us and Florida State fans have in common. Nick can say the same. We can all make fun of Florida fans. And what I wanted to... No NFL stadium needed. OSU fan, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Oh, listen, George is definitely going to be running scared after this, because I want to make sure that I put this out there. This is not every Florida fan. There is obviously some playful trolling that goes down on social media, and I love it. But it has been so funny to look at Florida fans who are calling out Miami and saying, y'all paid all this money for Carson Beck, who can't even throw the football at spring practice. What are y'all going to do? Well, let's get a check-in on the Florida Gators spring practice. DJ Lagway. What's going on? He's not throwing the football? Mental reps for DJ Lagway, working on his drops but not throwing to begin Florida Gators spring camp. Now, I want to make it known that I hope this guy is not injured. There have been rumors amongst the Florida fan base that maybe he has injured his shoulder in some way, or maybe he had some sort of top secret surgery. I don't know if they did it at Area 51 or something to keep it under wraps. I'm just repeating what Florida fans are saying. But I do find it humorous that they made fun of Carson Beck for not being able to throw the ball around at spring. And here you have DJ Lagway in the same boat. I hope the guy is not injured, because I do not want to hear any excuses from these Florida fans when we play them this season. That's all I hear about, is that this savior quarterback is why Florida didn't win. Lagway over Mertz. If he would have played more in that game, Florida probably would have won. I know, like, for you, Evil, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, because one Florida fan does not speak for all Florida fans. 5 Florida fans don't speak for all Florida fans. But they've been trolling Miami fans really hard when it comes to Carson Beck in spring practice this year. So it is just kind of interesting to see Lagway in the same boat. And then if Miami fans bring that same energy, they try to spin it into people making fun of him and saying that he's injured and all this. I'm not making fun of him. I want him to be 100% healthy, and I want him to be starting when Florida rolls down to Hard Rock, because zero excuses from the Florida fan base. Game number 2, we got the best of you in the swamp in 2024. Let's see what y'all got with Lagway at Hard Rock this season. Correct. So Lagway did get in the game, and his stats weren't great. They weren't great. But I agree. Kermit well said. We don't want any excuses. We don't want any excuses. But it was so interesting because Florida fans were shocked by this. Apparently, they didn't know that he wasn't going to be throwing. So, like, we knew Carson Beck was not going to be a participant, not 100%. You know, he's out there, he's going through the motions, and we were hoping that would be the case. And Dawson spoke on that in an interview today. He said Carson Beck has great football IQ. He's just trying to learn the offense. He's out there building up rapport with the players. And he's that way he doesn't have to just look at a piece of paper. He can go out there and, you know, go through the reps, just not actually throw the football. But that was just a quick look in at DJ Lagway. He better not be injured. I want that man 100%. Battle of I shouldn't laugh, but I because that one got me. Yeah. 2 of them together make 1 quarterback. See, these are the jokes we make around here. We're just having fun, man. We're just having fun. Jeez. That's so funny. DJ will get it done in Gables. Trust. Oh man, I've seen. It's just no shot. More than ever before, I'm gonna have so much money on that game. I'm gonna place so many bets with Florida fans. It's gonna be unreal. If Lagway is the starting quarterback, I'm not gonna pretend like Florida didn't improve on the tail end of the season, because they absolutely did. And in a lot of ways, they play a tougher schedule than Miami most of the time, especially this coming up season. Florida's schedule is quite brutal in 2025, and it wasn't a cakewalk in 2024 either. I'll give you that. But I'm confident here. It's early, but I'm confident here. So I do want to get into the recapping of week 1 spring practice for the Miami Hurricanes. So 3 practices in the books. You had Monday, Wednesday, and Friday today. Don't forget that they go on spring break now. So there will be no practice this coming up Monday. They're going to be off. Hold on. Got a malfunction here. Hold on. There we go. They are going to be on spring break next week, so there won't be any news regarding spring practice. But then when they get back, they're going to kick it off number 4 on a Tuesday. So it will not continue on Monday. It will be on Tuesday. And then everything will get back in gear. So you'll have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then that continues up until the spring game, which will be Saturday, April 12th at Cobb Stadium. Once again, we'll do a live hangout for that. Should be a good time. I'll try to have links for you guys to stream it for free, just like we had last year. I think we had links. I think we were able to get them last year. But I know a lot of people are going to forget, and they're going to say, where's the news? Where's the stuff coming out about spring? Did you see Kane Sport loaded a video of him throwing a 3-yard pass with his left arm? Still had a nice spiral on it. I actually didn't catch that. I actually missed that. I need to go look. That's funny. So we're going to break it down a little bit. Of course, I am still excited because it's football. But at the end of the day, it is spring, and it's early spring. So again, no tackling to the ground. Let's see if this works. We can play some clips from practice while we discuss it. There we go. Cool. So you're going to see some clips from practice. There are some new ones that are in there from today specifically. You can follow the owners of these clips in the bottom left-hand corner. So shout out to them. But you can kind of check that out so you don't have to stare at my face the whole time we're talking about this. So week 1, again, position drills, some one-on-ones, mostly working on the basics and fundamentals, trying to go through the motions when it comes to this offense and defense, because there are going to be a lot of young guys on the offensive side of the ball, especially at the skill position. And Dawson made it known, where is Miami really strong on offense? It's going to be up front. You had so many departures at the skill position, wide receiver, tight end. You had Martinez gone at running back. So there's some guys that are going into their second year, but still haven't seen a whole lot of playing time on the field. So everybody's trying to wrap their head around it. And again, even with Beck, even though he's not out there throwing the football around, he's trying to learn everything, get a feel for all of it. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about it. But some guys that impressed today, specifically on Friday, you heard a lot of people probably talk about defensive tackle David Blay, the transfer from LA Tech. The dude is a giant. He just looks like such a big guy out there. And then you have sophomore Justin Scott as well, who is a former 5-star. And what's really awesome for Justin Scott is he put on a good amount of size going into year 2, which could help him this season. Now, it's going to be tough, right? Because you have guys like, you got Ruben Bain out there, you got Mesidor, you got Blunt. You have plenty of big names on that D-line, and some others I'd not even mention. So going to be some stiff competition, but an opportunity for those guys to see the field this season. Also, everybody continues to talk about the Brantley versus Trader showdown. Those guys going back and forth in the one-on-ones. Very physical reps from both of them. And Trader continues to do his thing. But I will say that today there was a rep where Brantley got the best of him. But I think you're going to continue to see the trend, and it's going to be the JoJo show. Again, everybody has been singing praises when it comes to JoJo. He was able to put on some size as well. He put on a little bit of weight this past offseason. And you can really tell that he just looks more confident out there. It allows him to be a little bit more physical. And, man, JoJo should have a starting role in this offense this season, especially if he continues to practice the way that he is. But, again, whoa, pump the brakes. It's week 1. So we'll see when there's more contact, when guys are actually getting tackled to the ground. We'll see what happens when that's the case. And the same, again, goes for the quarterbacks. So we can talk about quarterbacks for a second because I'm sure that's what everybody wants to discuss. Even though Beck's not throwing, it's the battle for QB2. So you have Emory Williams, Judd Anderson, Luke Nickel. How does the freshman look? Dawson praises Nickel's accuracy, and he says that he's a quick learner. He's a hard worker, as you would expect, but he is still very young. At the end of the day, the reality is he's a freshman, and it's going to be Judd's second year in this offense. Emory has multiple years in this offense, and Nickel is starting from scratch. So when it comes to the quarterbacks, most of these highlights and things that you're seeing, it's Emory Williams throwing the pass in a lot of those big-time plays. So I would say that the word is Emory has looked the best. But I understand how the majority of Canes fans feel when it comes to Emory Williams. We saw small sample sizes with him. He was able to beat Clemson, but his stats were not mind-blowing. They didn't have to be. He still got the job done, but again, just did what he needed to do. Put his body on the line against Florida State, but that alone doesn't win you a starting job. Right? We like loyalty, guys putting their body on the line, but you got to be able to go out there and handle business. Fans kind of feel like the vibe I get from people on Twitter is they feel like Emory Williams is a really good practice player, but not a good game day player. I'm not saying that's my opinion. That's just the vibe I get on social media. Well, look who it is. George, what do you think about Lagway not throwing the football in spring right now? But George, give us the update on Lagway. What's going on? Because I need that man to be 100% when y'all come down to Hard Rock. What's up, Brew? Good to see you, man. Who let George out of his cage? You know George was going to be here at some point. He's loyal. He's a loyal viewer. Oh, okay. So you're trying to psych everybody out. I got it. Playing mind games. Okay, I respect it. That's a huge part of sports and college football. Absolutely. Mind games are very important. Yep. Okay, all right. I believe you. If there's anybody I'm going to believe when it comes to all this stuff, it's going to be George. It's absolutely going to be George. Good to see you, man. You hear good things about Judd. So it's not that Judd is practicing poorly or anything like that, Alex. I've just heard that if you were to directly compare the two, they say that Emory is a little more accurate, but I think I've heard both, because it's going to be opinion. These guys don't have a pass rush in their face. So it's just so tough to say right now, and they're throwing to very young receivers. But a lot of people have said that they prefer Emory over Judd when it comes to what they've seen at practice so far. But again, time will tell. We'll see. Either way, we know Carson Beck is the starting quarterback. It's not even up for debate. I don't even know why people are trying to debate it. But it is the battle for that QB2 spot, and let's pray it doesn't happen. But if Beck were to re-aggravate that injured arm, somebody's got to be ready to step up and take care of business. And this clip makes me think of something. Hold on. That clip made me think of something. When it comes to the wide receivers, man, I know we're obviously talking about JoJo Trader a lot, but it is unbelievable how smooth Malachi Toney looks out there. He is probably the smoothest route runner that we've seen this spring. I said that I would talk about the bad as well. I'm not going to shy away from it. I mean, does anybody else see a lack of effort and enthusiasm from Ray Joseph at practice at all from the clips you've seen? Because I have, and man, I don't want that to be the case. I want Ray to step up. You know, he's played behind Xavier Restrepo for a minute, for a couple years, and people say it's time for Ray to step up and take that next step. But I'm starting to think that if he's not careful, he's going to get beat out by these younger guys that are coming in and kind of setting the tone and a new standard at that position. And I'll give you an example. Yes, it's one rep. Don't overreact. I understand. But check this out here. So you have Ray coming up, obviously at number 5 here in a second. So look at the footwork. Look at the enthusiasm, the body language. Again, I'm nitpicking here, but in several clips I've seen, it's not the only one. Ray a lot of times looks like he's just going through the motions. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he wasn't feeling the best right there. Maybe he was a little tired. Maybe I'm taking it out of context. I don't know. All I'm saying is Ray's got to be careful because these young guys are coming, man. They are. And Ray has still been getting, let's talk about reps at punt return for a moment, because it's really cool to see how many young guys are getting reps at punt return on special teams. Ray is still getting reps at that position. Also today getting reps there was Dalen Upshaw, Gerard Pringle, and Malachi Tony. I love it whenever some young guys who maybe, even though they're very, very talented, could be hard for them to see the field. So Pringle is a perfect example. You best believe it's going to be Fletcher RB1. I would say Jordan Lyle RB2. And Pringle is probably capable of seeing the field, but he's not going to shoulder a large portion of the load. So by putting him at either kick return or punt return, it gives him an opportunity to see the field and keep some of these guys happy too, because I'm not talking about Pringle transferring out. The dude's a freshman. But I'm just saying, in today's times, after spring, you have guys that are going into year 2, year 3, and you have to at least try to keep them happy if you can. And someone like Pringle, right, or Tony or Upshaw, these are talented dudes, and letting them see the field on special teams, I think, is a good start. But Ray still getting reps there, Upshaw, Pringle, and Tony. You think Lyle is RB1? Really? We're talking over Mark Fletcher? Every rep counts in your humble opinion. I agree, Alex. So, you don't want to see, when you're talking about the standard at Miami, and with what Mario Cristobal preaches, you should be giving 100% every single rep, right? And I'm just not seeing that enthusiasm from Ray so far. And I'm not trying to nitpick him, I swear. We want all these guys to succeed. Ray Joseph is a Miami Hurricane. I want him to do well. It's just, when you look at the way some of these other younger guys are acting at practice, like I said, even the body language, the energy level, it just feels totally different. And that doesn't mean that they're a better football player, so to say. But what you're seeing from guys like Tony and Trader in year 2, man, it looks different. It's night and day when looking at those guys. But that's just my opinion on it. As far as standouts this week, let's look at the week as a whole. So not just today, not on Friday. This week as a whole, some standouts. Obviously, JoJo Trader. Great hands, put on some weight, as we said. Raised his confidence level. He's been very physical in the one-on-one drills with Brantley, and he's won the majority of those. So that's obviously good to see because we're very high on Brantley. Joel says, good night, college football family. Put some icy hot on the arms of Beck and DJ. I don't want any excuses after the rivalry games. I mean, well said. Yeah, straight up. Beck better be starting, and Lagway better be starting. End of story. I agree. Joel, thank you for the love tonight, my man. Get you some rest. Hopefully that's what you're able to do. Hopefully it's not going back to work. It's you getting to rest and relax. Because even though you're a Florida State fan, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll leave it at that, all right? But JoJo Trader, you'll keep hearing about him. I think even once the pads go on and his full contact, I think given his offseason gains, I think you'll continue to hear praises for JoJo Trader. Still in the wide receiver room, Malachi Tony, man. I'm always so hesitant to put freshmen on a pedestal just because they're freshmen. Again, there's always exceptions, guys like Jeremiah Smith. But again, at Miami, I don't see that as often, especially at the skill position, that you see big-time standout guys. But, man, Tony looks good. Man, Tony looks good. So, hopefully he's putting in the work, and we'll see what happens, because the majority of the guys in that receiver room are young. That's why we said it's wide open, man. You have Brown gone. You have Jacoby George gone. You have Restrepo gone. Horton left. It is wide open. So big opportunities for those young guys. Gerard Pringle has to keep his legs up. He's fallen on a lot of reps. Yes, there is a clip of that happening, actually playing on the right-hand side of your screen. Same thing, not knocking him, right, Jacoby? But just facts, right? Just being honest. It happens, but you're right. You're right. And Tony is an athlete, man. The dude could come in. They need to use Tony for some trick plays. We need him coming in and lining up at receiver and having him throw the ball downfield. They have to dial up something with Tony, because the guy is special. He could make something happen. Yeah, Tony QB3. Heck, maybe QB2. I don't know, man. Woo! I don't know. Both Miami and Florida have potential to be undefeated going into each other's matchups. Miami needs to beat Notre Dame. Florida needs to beat LSU, and it's smooth sailing. I agree. I want both teams to be have only W's under their belts going into that game. The hype will be through the roof. Man, it'll be awesome. Shifting over to defense, a couple of standouts again from week one, not just today. Week one. I'm actually probably going to say Dylan Day. Same thing when you're watching these guys go through the drills. Dylan Day I don't know, he just looks faster than everybody else. You just kind of have to keep an eye on him. You just have to watch the clips. Now, I love the effort that he's giving out there, and I just think that he looks really good. He did intercept a pass from Judd Anderson. I believe that was Monday or Wednesday. It was not today. But Dylan Day, pretty high on that guy. I think that he had a good week one. Also, linebackers Bobby Pruitt and Besant. With Besant, he's cross-training at the middle linebacker position, which you have a lot of cross-training going down, period. It's spring. It happens every single year, especially with a new defense on that side of the ball. You're going to see cross-training. You've got to figure out who fits where. So, Heatherman had a lot of good things to say about Besant and his leadership. But also with Pruitt, Heatherman praised his awareness. His football IQ. That's a guy that you're also hoping takes a big step forward this season. But both of those guys had a pretty solid week one. Also, Ruben Bain. I think that one probably even goes without saying. He's a little bit leaner. He's shed some pounds to help him move a little bit quicker. Speed and physical at the point of attack. Ruben Bain continuing to do what Ruben Bain does, but also Justin Scott. I think Justin Scott had a pretty good week one. We'll be able to add more guys to this list, some of the big guys, offensive linemen and stuff, again, once we get deeper into spring practice. I know that, just being honest, what I'm seeing when it comes to excitement level seems lower than previous seasons, but I think that's for a couple of reasons. Just in my personal opinion, I think it's because Carson Beck is not throwing the football. And the quarterback position is always one of the most talked about, understandably so, and especially at Miami. We get very excited about quarterbacks. And with Beck not throwing, it's just a battle for that QB2 spot. When you look back at last year with Cam Ward, the spring videos, everybody, how's Cam Ward doing? How's Cam Ward looking? With Beck, with him just going through the motions but not completing the throw, it's not like that it's not still a big deal, but it seems like there's not quite as much excitement. But also, reason number 2 is because it's just week 1. Again, once they put the pads on, guys are actually hitting. It's not just one-on-one drills and fundamentals and stuff. You'll probably see people get a lot more excited about it. So far, though, it has been a little disappointing to hear that I think Zaquan Patterson has still been limited. That's a guy that I would like to see possibly earn a starting role in 2025, but we'll see what happens. You do think Lyle is coming for RB1, game-breaking speed and a more dynamic runner. I think Fletcher will thrive in the same RB2 role he did last year behind Martinez. That's an interesting take, and I can't just take that and toss it and be like, bro, you're crazy, because anything could happen. It's so early, we don't know. Right? You could very well be right with that take. Obviously, we have to see too, pass protection is huge. So is Lyle capable of picking up the blitz? Is he as good at that as Mark Fletcher is? And then we'll see what Pringle does. You still have Wheatley Humphrey in there. You've not heard a lot of talk about him, but he's still there. He's participating. I still think it's Fletcher RB1. Lyle RB2, and then I think Pringle is talented, but I think he's too young. We'll see on that third spot, definitely. And there's still talks about potentially going and grabbing another running back out of the portal. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Lyle was talking up Hellcat Fair. Gonna be a fun competition, yeah, buddy. Man, I get so pumped for spring. As I said, I know a lot of the regulars and stuff, they'll message me and they're like, Coop, hey, I'll see you in August. Spring doesn't really mean anything to me. And I'm like, man, I love spring. It's Miami versus Miami. I get it, but it's the first look at the guys, especially once they get the pads on, they're suited up. Like, I love it, man. I love it. How is Wheatley Humphrey? The dude is quick. But in the time he's been here, he's not been able to earn a starting role. It is easy, however, I will say, to look at the new shiny toy. So all eyes are on, Pringle. Lyle is going into year 2, but everybody's looking at him as well. So it's easy to get distracted by the new shiny toy. I think that he would probably be RB3. I think I would put him over Pringle. I think you would see Pringle in more special teams roles, kind of like how we talked about him getting reps at punt return. And again, it's not because he's not capable, but he's young. Got to get adjusted to the college speed, put on some more muscle. It's going to take a little bit. Especially when the new shiny toy is a Lambo. True. But I like all those guys. I don't know if they bring in a portal running back, if it would be just a depth guy or if it would be a veteran. I don't know that you would want to bring in a veteran because I don't know, that's a tough spot. It's a very physical position, so you want to make sure that you're set. But like I said, you have to do this balancing act of not running guys off either. Because, they interviewed Dawson today, and they were talking about how difficult it is to keep more than like 3 quarterbacks on your roster. Because when a guy's going into, especially the third year, if he's not starting, in today's times, why stay? Unless you have a sweet NIL deal and you just believe that the NFL is not in the cards for you and you just want to stay there and rake in what little bit of cash you can, go. If you love football and you want to play, you can just bounce. And in a lot of ways, I don't blame those players, right? So it would be tough, man. And running back position is the same. We did a walking and venting last year when those guys were popping off, and I said, how do you keep all these guys happy? They're not typically rotating in 4 or 5 running backs in a game. 2, maybe 3 at most. So I'm like, how do you keep all these guys happy if all these guys are super talented? It's tough, but you need the depth. You need the depth there. So I don't know at the running back position, man. If it's Fletcher, Lyle, Locke, do you really bring in a vet at that position who then tries to take over the 2 spot? Because this, again, with my opinion, with Fletcher being RB1, it'd be fighting for that 2 spot, and then you push Lyle back to 3, and then that means there's no hope for Hellcat or Pringle. It's fine because he's young, so you don't necessarily expect to start. So I don't think you're worried about scaring him off. So I don't know, man. That's very tough. And it'll be interesting to see again because there will be some guys that leave. I think if you see, and it's gonna seem like I'm harping on him. It's not that. But if some of these guys start, if it seems like they're earning more reps over Ray, someone like that, you could see potentially someone like Ray leave, because there's going to be some departures. There are going to be some guys that leave after spring. They're not dumb. You can kind of get a feel by the end of it. Hey, is this going to work out for me this year? Do I feel like I can beat out some of the other guys in this room? They'll know. They'll definitely know. I have to doubt almost anyone of quality is getting in this portal second window. We'll see. It varies year to year. So, like, last year was pretty sick because last year, out of the spring portal window, Miami got Damian Martinez, who ended up being RB1. Tyler Barron, who early in the year was good. He kind of fell off a little bit later on. Who else did Miami get? Martinez, Barron. Miami got 6 or 7 guys out of the portal window, and 4 or 5 of those were impact guys. So we'll see. And you're right. It's just going to depend on who's in there. So I can sit here and argue about, will Miami bring in a veteran running back? Or are they going to bring in a depth piece? Well, who's in there? Right, Coop? Who the heck's in the spring portal? We don't know yet. Ray SMU bound? Man, Lashley would find a way. Wouldn't he, Katie? He always does. Yep. Yep. But surprisingly, I probably talked way too fast. That's honestly about all I have. It's kind of slow right now with it being early in spring. We talked about the 4-star commit from Jalen Seatbelt Waters today. We took a look at Will Harris trolling Florida fans in a way. He did the sunglasses emoji on purpose. That's a Billy Napier thing, I believe, and I think he's kind of trolling because we pulled that because he had been verbally committed to Florida at one point. Recapping week 1 a bit, just standouts. We discussed the fact that it's a lot of position drills, one-on-ones, fundamentals, guys taking reps at punt return on special teams, quarterback position a little bit, and then just some standouts and stuff. How's Max? He's passed out on the couch. Yep, I might be able to show it. That boy is out, as usual. But I'm bad about doing that. I'm bad about just blasting through everything. And then most people don't start filing into the stream until an hour into it, right? So now we have double what we had an hour ago, and I've already said everything I wanted to say. I'm excited. Yes, he is. He definitely is. I'm just pumped to see kind of how this plays out. And then after this week of spring break, we'll really get more of a feel for it. I can't talk enough about Malachi Toney. Play by the rules. Him and JoJo, man, if Malachi Toney doesn't see the field, even though he's young, I don't know, something went very wrong. Very, very wrong if he doesn't see the field. And again, it would be different if we were talking about last year's wide receiver room with the experience and stuff that was in that group. With what we're looking at now, I definitely think Malachi Toney, it's super early, but I think Malachi Toney will find his way onto the football field for sure. I feel you. I feel you, Juan. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. right? You have that on first and second down, and then you send a defensive end out into coverage on like third and 6. It's something that's an obvious passing down, third and long. Gosh. Yes. Yes. Vertical and attacking. And I know he said that he's a big fan of what they've seen out of Heatherman's defense so far. And I hope so, man. I know Miami fans, we like fast, aggressive. I know a lot of people do. But not this nonsense that Guidry had going on. I think you could tell that the players did not enjoy that. So many times they kind of talked about or hinted that it was a little bit confusing. And maybe it could have been he was just a bad teacher. Maybe his defense really wasn't that confusing, but he was just bad at teaching it. You can be smart but not be able to relay that information and teach it to somebody. So hopefully Heatherman kind of changes the game with that. They seem to like the defense so far. Super early. Any news on Amari Wallace? Nothing like in particular, but wearing number 26, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I'm happy to see that he recovered from fracturing his freaking leg, which is wild. And he's out there on the practice field with the University of Miami. So I love that for that guy. And yeah, he's openly said, I understand the weight of wearing number 26. Mario Cristobal has said Wallace fully understands what comes with rocking number 26. Sean Taylor wore number 26. But at the same time, I think there's a counter argument here. If we want to go back, people said 26 should be retired. Just get rid of it. I get that argument to an extent, but let's go break down all of the past rosters. And eventually you're going to run out of numbers. You know what I mean? Like, we can name some Miami greats. Okay, let's retire that number. Okay, cool. All right. Yep, let's retire this number too. Well, man, how many numbers we're going to have to start breaking into triple digits then? Somebody's going to have to be number 100, 101. I'm just making a joke, but I'm just saying. So people are like, man, nobody should rock 26. I get it. I know. But I wouldn't want to wear it because all eyes are going to be on you. You have to do it justice. We remember Gervin Hall and him tackling one of his own players or whatever the heck happened with that. I've watched that clip 1,000 times and I still can't describe what happened there. But if you're going to wear 26, a lot of people are going to be judging you. A lot of eyes are going to be on you. I know, I'm sorry I had to bring that up, but I had to do it. Did he ask for 26 or was it given to him? As far as I know, he wanted 26. There's only so many numbers to give, but I do think that he wanted 26. I could be mistaken there, so don't quote me on it. But I think that he wanted it. Yep. What's up, Came for Life 75? I'm late to the party, Coop. I've been busy installing a turbo kit on the Mustang. Lance was too gimmicky and everyone was always confused as heck. I agree. I think that half the time only he knew what was going on and what he was trying to do defensively. And sometimes I question if he even knew what was going on. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. Man, we had 2 Cajuns on the staff. But that one had to go. Yep. But yeah, hopefully you got that turbo in there, man. Heck yeah. I sold my Mustang. It was too fast. I said, I can't handle this. Nope. And all it had was a GT and just had a bunch of bolt-ons and stuff. And I was like, no, I was going to get in trouble. What about negatives? Yeah, might have to. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's going to be tough because there's a lot of competition in that room one. Bingo, right? That's what we were talking about early on when I was mentioning Blay and Justin Scott. And I was like, man, though, but you've got Bane, you've got Mesidor, right? You're right. Moten, Blunt. What's up, Fresh? Good to see you, man. But it'll ramp up. It's a bummer that there is no spring practice next week. So, we recap practice number 1, recap practice number 2, and then we do like a full week plus including Friday today, and then next week nothing. Man. So that's going to be rough. It's like they're just dangling a little preview for us and then gone for a week. So it is what it is. That's all I got though. Anything that specifically that y'all want to talk about? Any other positions or anything? How's Carr doing? Haven't really heard much about Carr. But I think a lot of this, though, is I think you'll start to hear more about some of these guys as we get deeper into spring practice. So, again, there are some guys like you're not going to hear the media pick up on, hey, Carr caught 2 passes today. Okay, well, they're only really going to report on the big crazy stuff. Somebody catches a big one-hander. It's a one-on-one situation or drill with against Brantley that was super physical and something crazy happened. I think it's more so that. So maybe you'll hear more about those guys in the future once the pads go on and there's a little more stuff going down at practice. Clay James, we did talk about Clay James. Yep, we sure did. Do call-ins? I don't know if there's enough to do the call-ins, to be honest. Because it's really just Jalen Waters and what happened this week is spring. That's about it. Not trying to shoot that idea down because I know Juan said, heck yeah, let's do call-ins. I just don't know if there's enough to even talk about. And I wasn't prepared enough to talk about this ACC stuff with Florida State fans. You had a Mustang and now you have a Taurus. And probably better gas mileage. I guess that's it, man. I guess that's all I got. We'll come up with something next week. Maybe I'll have a little more in the back pocket that we can discuss. This might be the shortest stream in history. I don't know if I've ever done a 1-hour stream. I know some of the nicknames crack me up, bro. They got some good ones for some of those guys this year. I had Taco Bell lately. Unfortunately not. But I need to change that soon. Yeah. Was Cam Ward getting some kind of flack at the combine? I don't know if I saw anything specific. I know they a bunch more like projected picks came out, and a lot of the high up people had bumped him down. So it went from all the talks of Cam Ward being number 1 to people saying like number 8, 9, 10. I still think he goes number 1. That you have some teams that are trying to trade up to possibly get him, but I hope the Titans take him. He met with the Titans the other day. Wasn't too long ago that he met with the Titans and some higher ups there. I know there are people that think the Titans should take Carter. I mean, do you really pass on that when your quarterback is Will Levis? Come on, man. So we'll see. I think with that, and obviously I'm going to be a little biased because he was the quarterback at Miami. But I don't know if I saw anything about any flack. I think he did pretty well in the testing that he did. And it might have been some people just spinning some stuff online. Is there anything specific you saw? But that's what I saw was just that. Them talking about him kind of falling a little bit. But I don't think that'll be the case. Oh, ask him his top QBs and he left someone out. I didn't see that, no. No, actually, I missed that. Yeah, I didn't see that. So I will, Anthony, I'm going to post a video. Maybe I can do it on Sunday or Monday that goes over all of the number changes. I typically do that every year in spring because it is confusing, especially now with the transfer portal. So guys come in, sometimes they keep their number that they had at their previous school, sometimes they don't because it's not available. Plus you have the incoming freshmen, you have their numbers, plus guys just straight up change numbers now. So it can be kind of confusing when you see guys running around and they've changed their numbers. So what I did last year is I made a graphic image in Photoshop, and it said, okay, here's this guy, here's his number. If they changed it, if they're an incoming transfer, or numbers that freshmen were assigned. So I'll try to do that in the coming days. And what people would do is just screenshot it, and it gave them something to reference. So I'll try to do that soon. And I'll have to look that up, Cypher. I didn't see that, to talk with that. I saw the John Gruden. Yeah. So like John Gruden had put out some sort of video, and everybody noticed, because the internet notices these little things. He had on like a jacket or something that had a Miami logo on it, the U, and Miami wasted no time. Very, very smart thing to do. And they sent him a little care package that had all sorts of Canes gear in it, even Miami Hurricanes underwear. And it's blowing up all online. Yep. That was so funny. Special teams were atrocious. We need to get those hidden yards. I agree. And I don't think that just because they brought in Clay James that it's like, oh my goodness, this is the difference maker. This is what we needed. We just made it a point to say special teams needs to be like a point of emphasis, because it has been very bad. It's been piss poor, minus the kicking. And it's got to be better. It's so freaking important. Cam is going to turn you into an NFL fan. I'm probably going to follow wherever he goes. But, man, it's going to hurt my heart if he goes to, like, the Jets or the Browns. Nobody wants that. Oh, come on, man. Nobody wants that. Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. I know, and I know a lot of people were saying they don't want to see him go to the Titans. But I think it'd be okay if he goes there. I think it'd be a better place than Cleveland. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah. Yeah, let's not make that happen. Please.
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Did he?
Gruden was doing one-handed U. Weird.
Hold on. Did he? Let me look. Like on his recent video? My man Duck with the 2. Thank you for the love, Duck. Was he really? I missed that part. Or maybe I tried to overlook it.
Back at Barstool for helping me get this. This is from the Miami Hurricanes. And I've been thinking about how to open this because I don't want to screw this up for Casey. So I'm not going to use a screwdriver, no scissors. I was watching The Walking Dead last night. My friend Rick Grimes killing these dead people. Look at this knife. Right down the freaking.
Is he okay? I'm not one to talk. Right? You guys have seen what I've done on the internet and what I've put out online. So, anyways, I just...
Metal. It's like Rick Grimes. The Walking Dead. Look how effortless this is. The Miami Hurricanes. Ooh, they made this tricky. Travel bag. Miami football. You talk about Miami Hurricanes, Jim Kelly, Vinny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar. How about my guy Warren Sapp, Cortez Kennedy, and Jerome Brown rushing the passer? Holy smokes, look at these shoes. Can you imagine this?
I'm just going to say it. Them shoes ugly as hell. Ain't no way I would be caught dead wearing them shoes. Or the new ones that just came out. Nope. I love Adidas. I love the way their apparel fits me. I'm a smaller dude. It's a little bit smaller. with the sizing. Those shoes are terrible.
Size 10. It's like Ed Reed and Ray Lewis running around on the field. Freaking love this. This might be the greatest day in FFCA history. A white hoodie with just the U, baby.
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I'm saying, okay, I'm not a hater. This is cool. This is cool. All I'm saying is, if you can't throw it up the right way, my motto is don't throw it up at all. You know what I mean? So like when I end a video and I'm recording and I can't put the camera down and I'm holding it with one hand, I have literally said I would throw up the U, but I can't right now because I can't do it the right way. So we're just not going to do it at all. I'm not hating. It is what it is. You're going to get some heat for that. Yeah, it's just like when people do it and you just do one, I'm not going to do it. But you know where instead of doing this, you just do your index fingers? That's a big no-no. No, 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 no. And there have been recruits that have done that in the past, and they have gotten eaten alive. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And I know, look, he's trying to hold up the jacket. He's doing his thing. He's excited. He's recording this video for Twitter. Oh gosh, man.
You, baby. Oh, my God. That is absolutely incredible gear. Does anybody have gear like the Hurricanes? I wish I could get Cam Ward on Gruden QB class. He's just too busy. I can't get him. But at least I got some Hurricane gear. Cam, if you're listening to me, man, I'll wear this if you come down to my Gruden's QB class. Thank you so much. What is this? Swing shift.
I need to get me some of them.
I mean, this is freaking unbelievable.
I need some of them.
Irvin, Andre Johnson, and Miami Hurricane briefs. Freaking A, man. This is a great day. Hey, I got some Miami Hurricane shoes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. He does not get a pass for doing it the second time. I take back what I said. He has a second free hand. You don't, nope, never mind. Forget everything I said. You don't get a pass for that one.
Do I look like a hurricane or what? I mean, look how good this stuff looks. I love it. I won't model these, though. This is good stuff, man.
Look at the shoes. Look at that.
Thank you so much. The shoes make the outfit.
What's this? What is this? Oh, man. That's something. That is something. Man, oh, man. I didn't realize that he did it once, and I sure as heck didn't notice he did it twice with the free hand. I'm not a hater, so it's fine. It just, oh, that was rough. Did you guys see the new shoes? Like, I love Ultra Boost. Ultra Boost, ever since I wore Ultra Boost, I've never worn another shoe. They're that comfortable. I'm wearing Ultra Boost. I'm wearing Ultra Boost right now. Right? By far the most comfortable shoe I have ever owned. I've never looked back after wearing them. But I do have to say that when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes shoes, Adidas is very hit or miss. They've had some cool ones. I still regret not getting the orange version that had, the Velcro on the tongue and you could put Sebastian on it. Man, I would pay big money for those, but you can't find them anywhere. But the Addy Zeros dropped, and I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe if I see it in person. Maybe if I can actually hold them, try them on, maybe the comfort makes it worth it. Do you guys think these look good or not? So, like, it's not Ultra Boost. So, it's a different shoe. But I don't know, man. They look like a spaceship or something. They look like shoes. Fair. They do look like shoes. That is true. I can't really argue with that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just too picky. Bobo the Clown shoes. You'd wear them? Okay. Well, if you get them, let me know how they look and how they feel. I am getting up there in age, so comfort above all else in most cases for me. I didn't used to be that way, but I'm more so that way now. But I think seeing them in person, because I'll be real, I thought I hated the white ones that came out. You guys remember that white colorway with the Ultra Boost? I think it was not the previous one, but the one before that. So not the black ones. I thought I hated them until I saw them in person. It was these, yep. Bro, I thought I would hate these until I saw them in person, and they were super comfortable, and they actually looked much better in person. They did. These, it's funny because I liked the way these looked, but ended up not preferring them. I ended up liking these more. But what I really want are the orange ones. We're just small talking at this point. We're talking shoes here. These. Bro, does anybody have these just chilling in the closet? Somebody maybe who just happens to have a size 10 and you bought a second pair because you just wanted to have them. That's like top 5 regrets of my life is not buying these. Man, I am a shoe whore. I am. I sure am. If I had more money, it would be really bad. I wish I had that. I went over to Melissa's apartment, Hoodie Girl, whenever I went down for the Clemson game, and she has a pair of them sitting beside her desk. And oh man, that's the first thing. As soon as I walked in there, my eyes straight to them. Super jealous. $300. Are they new and in size 10? That's the question. New and size 10. Yeah, it just feels like Adidas. Like I said, I like their gear. I like their fan apparel, but the shoes are super hit or miss for sure. But I don't know about them Addy Zeros. Cap game is A+. Ball cap or line? Or both? So that's all I got. Again, shout out to my man Joel Davis with the $99.99 top dono of the night. Duck with the 2 as well. Thank you for bringing that up because that gave us something to talk about for a few more minutes. And I was not aware. But I know I'm just a broken record. We'll come up with more stuff. I like to get through spring before we do way too early season predictions. So I'm basically waiting on that. So way too early season predictions, ACC tier list, spring recaps that involve full contact in full pads, spring game. There are exciting things coming up. But today I didn't really have much, but I just want to hang out with y'all for at least an hour and talk a little bit of football. green would be better, green might be. Green could be pretty sick. But I'm going to call it there. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the love, as always, hanging out with me for a bit on a Friday. Just don't forget spring break next week. So there really won't be any spring coverage or anything like that. But we'll maybe do some hypothetical stuff, and we'll find something to talk about. We'll come up with something. If I can figure out the right buttons to press here. You know what to do. Love y'all, and I'll see you real soon, all right? Peace out.